bastards out there. But Thomas, Bryant, jockstrap, get him out of here.
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome on into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network, presented by FanDuel. I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Nick Padone. He's Jack O'Rourke. He's Rob Watson. Today is a beautiful Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. Fellas, Monday night. How was it? Anybody do anything fun?
Yeah, actually, I went around town a little bit. One of my best friends is in town for the first time in a year, so we went out to BA Sweeties, played a little bit of golf, went to bowling alley after, and I figured out I might be the worst bowler in the world, so might never go back. I didn't even come close to 100 either time. It was embarrassing.
Rob?
I was hungover a lot yesterday.
How was the Chris Brown concert?
Dude, the Chris Brown concert was really good. That's the first person I've seen need no auto-tune at all. Like, he would hit the notes better live than the song playing in the background. Like, you could literally, it was crazy experience. The dancers were amazing. You know, a lot of screaming, a lot of other stuff going on in the Chris Brown concert as expected, but great experience.
Nick, how was your Monday night?
All right, I didn't do anything.
Nothing
I'll be
fun.
completely honest with you guys. I'm kind of, we're testing a new setup, so was a little bit stressed about the new setup, and yeah.
Well, something else that's stressful is Myles Garrett. We'll get to that, him speeding again. But first, guys, let's talk some actual Browns football. Shedeur Sanders, Rob, before we dive into it, we did not have an opportunity to talk to you. You were out once. We saw Shedeur Sanders go out in Carolina, and I thought pass every test with flying colors.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I was talking about it in the group chat. I was texting, I think his most valuable trait and what will always separate him from most of the quarterbacks I've ever seen, other than arguably one, is his confidence. That's something that's unwaverable, I think. The way he's been bred and brought up by his dad, he's just this super confident individual, and that's something that I could say not a lot of quarterbacks had. And he's got the right balance where it's on that line, but it's not arrogance, and he's just going to go out there. He's an accurate quarterback. He's poised. And I think once they actually decide that they're going to put time and effort into him and let him be the guy getting the reps and building the game plan around what he does correctly, that's when I think we'll eventually see him shine. But definitely someone I think could see turning into a possible Brock Purdy, Alex Smith type quarterback in the
Crazy
future.
you say that, because question open to the floor. I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and he said his comp was Alex Smith.
Alex Smith was a dog at one point. That's a multiple-time Pro Bowler. Came into his own later in his career. Former.
That's so funny
one.
you say that.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, I'll take that, man. Anyway.
Well, anyways, despite the performance, the depth chart comes out and it remains the same. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Kenny Pickett still nursing the hamstring injury. Dylan Gabriel back at practice, had a good day. Shedeur Sanders still buried in that depth chart. It seems as though as every day we get closer to that opening kickoff, Joe Flacco is going to be the Browns starting quarterback. At this point, I think it's all but over. I was adamant that I thought it was going to be Kenny Pickett. I thought it was still going to be Kenny Pickett, but not back as soon as I thought, perhaps. We know how hamstring injuries go, and at this point, it seems as though it's Joe Flacco's job.
Well, I mean, dude, the thing with the hamstring is we've never really had any clarity on it from Jump Street. We still don't have any clarity on it now. Dylan Gabriel injured his hamstring, is returned, all in the time that it's taken Kenny Pickett to get back on the field. So this kind of 4-man quarterback competition that turned into a 5-man quarterback competition, and then it turned into a 6-man quarterback competition because Deshaun Watson's posting videos on his Instagram. It was always so dumb. It was always if you zoom out, we spent so much time talking about it here because we have to cover it. But if you zoom out, it was always the absolute dumbest thing. It was always the absolute dumbest idea. They had 2 veterans that nobody else wanted in the entire National Football League. They had 2 rookie quarterbacks that literally nobody else wanted. I mean, Shedeur Sanders was passed up, I think, 3 times by all 32 NFL teams. Dylan Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick that would have never been a 3rd-round pick if the Browns didn't draft him there. So this entire thing has always been so stupid. It's never made any sense. I'm so glad that it's almost over and they're about to just name Joe Flacco the starter. We could see what he can do. And then I don't know how you roster the other 5 of the guys that are on there, but I guess that's why I'm glad I'm not Andrew Berry this morning.
Yeah, Nick, I want to ask you about that because I do think that there's we're starting to see stuff come out on the internet more. Like I think there's starting to be a realistic possibility. Maybe not that he touches the field and takes a snap and has a football in his hands, but Deshaun Watson might be able to at least be activated off of the PUP list at some point this season. Who do you, as of right now, think we take out of preseason into the regular season? And do you think that changes at all when Deshaun comes back?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna roster all 4 of the, like I think Huntley's probably the odd man out, quote unquote, but they'll roster all 4 of the guys that were competing to be the week 1 starters. And then from there, dude, like, I don't know. I mean, they showed last year that they have a precedent to keeping 4. They did that. They were trying to hype up Huntley. They were trying to hype up DTR and Jameis, and nobody traded for any of those guys. So things get awkward, in late September, early October when Deshaun Watson's physically cleared. I mean, just looking at those videos, the guy's close. The guy's close to getting ready to go back out there on an NFL field. If he says that he's healthy and wants to be on the active roster, that's where the words Deshaun Watson and NFLPA have just become serendipitous, because I'm sure it's going to become another headache where this guy's going to throw some sort of fit that he's healthy and he's going to want to be on the field. And I imagine the Browns are going to tell him no.
It's one thing to be on the field, and obviously that plays with the NFLPA. You can't just tell him, to go, himself. But you don't have to actually put him between the white lines. Nobody's forcing the Browns to do that. That's not part of any contract. You don't have to force them to play. And in no scenario are you ever throwing Deshaun Watson out there. Correct me if I'm wrong in your guys' opinion, unless the season's hell in a handbasket, you're week 16, 17, 18, everybody's starters are resting for the playoffs, obviously not in the Browns' case, and you're just throwing him out there perhaps because in some scenario,
Ryan,
and this is why I don't even want it to happen, because those should be going to Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders.
Ryan, if the Browns, I want this out there in the second week of August, if the Browns put Deshaun Watson on the field this year, even if it is the season's over, hell in a handbag, if Deshaun Watson is in his number 4 jersey and a helmet on the field for the Cleveland Browns, everybody should be fired. Kevin Stefanski should be fired. Andrew Berry should be fired. Paul De Podesta should be fired. And the team should be up for sale. If that happens, that's the one thing that this team can do this year, where everybody understands we're in a little bit of a retool. We're in a little bit of a rebuild. We're figuring out the quarterback thing. They were in no rush to address it this offseason. Everybody's in lockstep with that. But the one thing that you could do to lose everybody, and I will be the first, hold me to my word, I will be the first one calling for it. Everybody should be fired if he suits up for a regular season game.
Let me ask you this out of devil's advocate, not saying that I want him to be out there, I think he will, but is there almost a scenario where if you do get towards the end of the year, Ryan, and maybe it's not as much like we're 2-14, so things don't matter, but it's like maybe there's a couple of injuries to the offensive line, and the offense, what if you can't even keep one of the kids upright?
Here's why. Go sign somebody, Joe Blow off the street.
Johnny Manziel. Bring back Johnny. I would seriously bring back Johnny Manziel and give him a try over Deshaun
We have
Watson.
18 quarterbacks. It doesn't have to be him, bro. Huntley will probably still be on the practice squad. This would have to assume that 3 or 4 people got hurt. And then
Uncle Rico off the street.
Yeah,
still, we just shouldn't put him in, bro.
Kevin Hogan, where's he at?
Kevin Hogan.
He would have to be the last quarterback on earth, and then I would still put Ryan in over him. That's how I'm feeling. I do have a question though for the guys too. First off, because this is a thing that happened a couple years ago with the hamstring injuries. Why is this coming back and it's so crazy? And then 2, I try my best to excuse the just ineptitude with communicating what is going on with people's injuries during the season when it matters. Maybe you're trying to keep someone off balance for a matchup. Why are we not being honest with Kevin Pickett's injury in the preseason, bro? I get maybe we're still trying to trade him, but they should know this ship is sailed,
Rob, he was
bro.
ranked as the only quarterback in the 5th tier by NFL executives. There's not one person that we
I would tell you guys, keep an eye on that though, because Ryan was the first on it, and he's right. That was the first guy that they went out there and got. They really like Kenny Pickett. They think very highly of Kenny Pickett. like it, and they want him to get healthy and try to make something of this quarterback competition that we're forced to talk about every day. I just keep your eye on it, man, especially like with what's going on in LA, where Matt Stafford hasn't practiced yet. They say that he's ready to go. Their backup QB there is Jimmy Garoppolo, who I personally really like, but I'll even admit that he's made of glass. Like
he's also mid.
I'm just
He's
saying,
off roids too, right?
Imagine this.
Yeah.
You're talking about, and this is a perfect example, and I have like 2 points here, but for the Rams, right? Joe Flacco, they know, obviously, it's a backup plan. But the thing is, right now, it might not start off as a backup plan. Matt Stafford, let's say he misses the first, I don't know the timetable, but he's hurt. He misses a couple weeks. You trade for Flacco, try to win those games with Flacco, because the Rams Super Bowl window is wide-ass open.
Yep.
If I were them, I'd go trade for Flacco. And then my point about Kenny Pickett was, when they went and made the trade for him, not only was I like, oh, that's the first quarterback they went, so that's cementing who they want to be the starter. No, but it was for other reasons. It was the fact that Kenny Pickett, yes, although probably abysmal chance, still there's a chance a reclamation project.
Right.
I understand Joe Flacco's a better quarterback right now, but there was 0% shot of that. Browns aren't trying to win this year. And if anything, you have Kenny Pickett working his ass off against two rookies. I think that puts more fire under the rookie's ass rather than knowing one of those is ultimately the usurper to a Joe Flacco.
Well, and they also think that they have the secret sauce for all of these quarterbacks, and so I guess we'll see what happens.
I'm not hungry. In their opinion, honestly, they could go shove it up where, because I'm sick of hearing that they think they're smarter and know more about quarterbacks. When I've seen an offense that can't score 20 points in at least 2 games in a season, bro.
We got to take a break. We're long overdue. When we get back, Browns traveling to Philly today for joint practice taking place Wednesday, Thursday before their game Saturday. We'll talk about that and more when we get back right here on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network presented by FanDuel. Ryan Tyler, Nick Pedode, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson, and I got to tell you all about our friends at Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks. The Fairway Ford summer sale still going on. So there's never been a better time to make that short drive to Canfield and save thousands of dollars while potentially finding your dream vehicle. Over 500 in stock on their lot. We had the opportunity to go there about a month ago, and it was absolutely massive and well worth it. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, lowest pricing and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com. Again, that's fairwayfordohio.com. Hey, shout out to Fairway Mike again for coming on yesterday's show. Rob, you weren't here. He filled in for you a couple segments.
Yeah.
Star of Mike Mondays. I saw he posted on Instagram the Mike Monday he filmed with us. And Jack, what was your caption?
Or my text?
Or yeah,
it? Oh,
it made me laugh.
yeah, I said.
This is why we play.
No, I thought you were saying about.
He was about to incriminate
I don't think
himself.
I told my parents when we went on. I don't think I told my parents when we went on cable television, but the millisecond we were up on Mike Mondays, show my mom.
All right, guys. Browns, Phillies. Browns traveling to Philadelphia today. Wednesday we'll start the joint practice. That continues into Thursday, Friday, the off day before they take on the Eagles on Saturday. This is a pretty damn good litmus test, Super Bowl champions. A little harder, I would think, than the Carolina Panthers. And word out of the Carolina Panthers joint practice, take it for what you will, is I saw everywhere Panthers beat the Browns.
Right.
Well, that didn't really translate into the preseason game now, did it? I'm excited to watch the film out of a team that, listen, if you want to be relevant, this is a team you compare yourself to.
Well, especially like football is a team game, right? And we spend so much time talking about the quarterbacks, but there are other position battles that have to happen and have to unfold. So like the Philly offensive line is one of the best in the game. The Browns defensive line, one of the best in the game. Iron sharpens iron. So it'll be cool to see the Jim Schwartz philosophy and kind of what we've been talking about. Is the pass rush going to be good enough to make up for some of the lack of depth in the defensive secondary, in the backfield defensively? I don't know. I guess we'll see that this week against Philly. I'm curious to see how it all shakes out. I'm curious, obviously, to monitor how they continue to divvy up these QB reps, because that's going to be something that everybody continues to watch until they name a starting quarterback. But it should be a good week to do other things than quarterback. Does that make sense?
That makes a ton of sense. Landon Dickinson, I believe, out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know how long. That's huge.
That's a blow.
Eagles' offensive line certainly one of the best in the NFL, still will be, but probably a little step down this season. But you're still correct, Nick. By far, a top 5 unit, at least projected to be.
I need to see that matchup because we talked all about Shedeur, but the one of the things that jumped out at me early and how we were playing when the fringe first to second string defense was out there, I thought the guys were flying around early on in the game. I thought the energy was high. I thought there was a lot more passion than I saw the team play with last year, and that's without some of our big guys out there.
That's
but
what Myles Garrett said himself.
Yes.
I mean, take it for what you will.
Schlesinger, he's going to be a dog. Like, imagine if we had him and JOK, but I mean, like, he played like 13 snaps and had about 6 total tackles with team mixed in. Like, he's all over the ball. And I want to see Gage continue to be just a threat on offense. I think that's a guy that's just proving he's a playmaker. He had a solid, was it a punt return too? Almost got out of there, got caught up at the shoestrings. Like I want to see, like, there's a lot to look at other than quarterback this week.
Well, and I do think, like, even, like, again, we spend so much time on the quarterback, but even if the 6 guys that they got, none of them are the answer, and I know everybody in Cleveland and around Cleveland a little bit optimistic about Shedeur Sanders right now, but you would be able to walk away from this season with the stock arrow pointing up if Mason Graham was a home run pick at number 5 overall, if Carson Schlesinger can be that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah replacement. Like, those 2 picks hitting, and whenever Quinshon Judkins agrees to his deal and gets
Dylan
on the field, like,
who was the other running back?
Mitchell. I was going to say Mitchell.
The other running
Henderson?
back.
I
think one of them.
He caught the screen, right?
One of
He
the
was
like
picking up pass
third
pro.
string running backs looked really good. Had a huge block on Shedeur's touchdown pass and was running pretty hard, bro.
So, like, there are things defensively that you could take away from this season and hang your cap on. But the one thing is, like, you can't just keep hoping that the offense finds its way. We kind of did that in the 2010s, you know, where we had a really solid defense and the offense was so bad that it didn't matter. So, like, you gotta play complementary football at some point. But I do think this season could be considered like, you could take a moral victory away if Graham and Schlesinger are hits.
I want to ask you guys about Mason Graham real quick. Like, not that there's nothing coming out about him, just radio silence from camp, but, like, what do you make of it that we're not getting, like, crazy reports about a kid we took so high every single day? Like, I know it's not going to be the case always with the defensive tackle.
It's just called being a D tackle.
Yeah, he can't.
So that's a good thing, though, because you'd hear bad
things
things if he was doing bad, right?
If you were hearing things about offensive linemen, that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Because it means you're not doing your job. That's just the life of being a D tackle.
And so, like, he gets to the quarterback.
When you get traded,
someone else gets a sack. Yeah.
When a team passes on you, when a team passes on Travis Hunter and takes you, Travis Hunter's still getting talked about.
Yeah.
And they said he's down 10 pounds. Like, everything we wanted to hear about him is
fat. I'm like, wait till he gets into an NFL weight room. Like,
I hate to bring this. This is a thought I've been thinking too.
What about the 450-pound guy?
Because it's Eagles. Because it's Eagles, and I have to say something about the quarterbacks again. If Kenny Pickett is out there this game, this could go really bad for him, I feel like. Because they're the second string. Everyone's going to know all his tendos. Like, it's going to be bad. It could be bad, or it could go well. He could remember everything about them. Yeah, I feel like he's going to really boom or bust this week if he gets out there.
I don't even think he's going to be out there. I think we're looking at a lot of Dylan Gabriel and a lot of Shedeur Sanders, which is fun in its own right? Because, like, the one thing about Shedeur's performance is it left me wanting to see more from Shedeur, and especially in some of those growth areas. You can't turn your back to the defensive line. Like, do that against TJ Watt. He's going to swallow you alive. But it also left me longing to see Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, why is he so much better? Why have we been gassing it up? I need to
see that, especially Rob, because he's had all this additional opportunity and Shedeur Sanders is not. Common logic would tell you he should be further along than Shedeur Sanders. That Shedeur Sanders in performance that we're all really encouraged by. When Dylan Gabriel gets out there, we should be just as encouraged, if not more.
I see better
because
than
he's
I hear,
had
Nick.
more opportunity in practice.
I don't want to hear about it. I want to see it.
Was it that Dylan Gabriel was so far along than Shedeur Sanders? Or did we just think, and of course we don't know, or did the Browns, I should say in this case, just think that gap between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in terms of being able to pick up NFL knowledge, NFL language and cadences? Maybe we just didn't think Shedeur was farther than he really is.
Right. Maybe they, nothing about we.
Yeah,
maybe
throwing that blanket back over our head.
Maybe
Excuse me when I say
completely overrated somebody's ability to read a play call out of the huddle in the year 2025, where pretty much every quarterback wears the arm sleeve anyway with the plays on it. They've turned that molehill into Mount Everest.
It's because he's not Peyton Manning, okay? But Peyton Manning also had an arm. I'll take a baller who might not be the top
Manning
echelon dude.
Picks as a rookie,
you know what I mean? But just because Dillon picked up the play and he remembered the 4 play calls you gave him, but then he goes and throws 4 incompletions. I'll take the dude that maybe he forgets one thing and we get that handled from the sideline and is a little iffy. But on that play, maybe he still makes a play regardless. I'm taking that guy over the smarty that's not really.
And that's
just
on the
that
coach.
guy, bro.
That's called coach a kid up.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know the play, that's called, hey, put down the Denny's menu, put down the spreadsheet and the numbers and the calculus that's going on in his brain during the middle of a game, and coach a young individual.
Put the QB sleeve on him because he was only wearing the wristband. I don't know if put the sleeve on him. It shouldn't be that big of an issue, man. The kid's not dumb. All right, he could call a play.
They were treating him like he was a football imbecile. Like he had never called a play in a huddle at all. And I was so glad that Shedeur played well on Friday and was able to silence some of that because they really were making him out to be like some sort of massive dummy.
Yeah, no kidding. We got to take another break. When we get back, got to talk a little bit about Myles Garrett, speeding ticket. Jon Gruden wins, or at least I should say the Supreme Court sides with him in a ruling going against the NFL. We'll talk about that and more when we get back right here on The Big Factor. Everybody, welcome back into the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Nick Padone, Jack Rourke, Rob Watson. This segment brought to you guys, like always, by our friends over at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want beer to taste, and that's, of course, beer-flavored beer. Go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. One more time, that's drinkgaragebeer.com. Miles.
Per hour.
Another speeding ticket for Myles Garrett. This time I believe he was coming home from the airport when they got back from Charlotte, of course, taking on the Panthers. Cited going 100 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone. He got a $250 speeding ticket. Doesn't have to go to court if he pays that. I believe this is his 7th ticket since he was drafted here to our Cleveland Browns. This occurred just a minute after 2 a.m. The saying goes, guys, nothing good ever happens at 2 a.m. I mean, we'll dive into it, but it's just at the bare level, it's disappointing.
It's
guys.
a bad look. It's such a bad look for the dude that they just get. Myles kind of put us through hell this offseason a little bit. That's a piece of this that kind of gets left out. Like, dude, and then we were able to make that go away because they dangled $40 million a year in front of him. And then Jimmy kind of publicly called on him to become more of a leader. So, like, some of that
He just like being told what to do.
Yeah.
likes
Like,
to be
dude,
dominant.
like, it is so typical. It's a bad look. I feel horrible that we've got to talk about it because really it is like not the biggest deal, especially with some of the other things that Browns players have done. But this is the face of your organization. This is the best player on the team. This is a player that also almost killed himself a couple years ago when he rolled his Porsche 3 times into a ditch. So like
that's Flash Garrett, man.
So like we like on one hand it's like not that big of a deal because like rich young men get nice cars and drive fast, but on the other hand this is an individual that quite literally almost killed himself in an automobile accident not that long ago, and honestly should be thankful for his life that he was able to walk away from that car was like completely smushed. So like this just it is the most typical August Browns headline that you'll find.
The reason that it's a big deal is because the fact that what if, right? It's what if. What if you hit somebody? What if you crash? It's a story that goes from not a big speeding ticket all of a sudden to in a parallel universe, your life is over and you potentially not only ruined your own life, but you ruined another's life or a family's life.
All right, well, now I feel a lot worse saying what I was going to say. That's what I was going to try and hop in front of you.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
But no, I know. I
dangerous.
don't think it's a massive deal, to be honest. Like, and again, I don't condone going 100 miles per hour. Like, I don't think you should be putting your life or someone else's at risk, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've gotten off 100 sports buses at 1 a.m., and every single time, everyone rips home right away as fast as they can to get home.
I got to call a quick timeout because so we're saying that this isn't a big deal, but when I was saying throwing a dildo on a court, now that's a massive deal.
Wait, you are getting caught slacking.
I'm clicking on that.
I'm not saying, dude. No, I don't think it's a big deal.
Here's what I think
Guys,
we should do is the city of Cleveland. I think we should all get together. Let's bring in more money like they didn't already pay Myles enough. So we're either going to rent out a really big parking lot to just never be used again, or we're going to like rent out like a
Deion
runway
Dawkins on
or
Hard
something.
Knocks.
And we're going to say, Myles, we got you. Just bring a couple of your toys out here, your cars, your favorite ones, soup them up. Go at it, bro. There's not going to be anyone else out here. Just drive. We got you. We're paying for it. We're renting it hourly for you as the city of Cleveland. We're going to make it a tax. Everything is just going to come right out of our checks. We're going to get you together, bro. No more speeding tickets.
The
you guys
Myles
watch Hard
Garrett
Knocks episode
International
1?
Speedway.
Hey, 2025 Geauga County Fair Demolition Derby's coming up at the end of this month.
Did you guys see Deion Dawkins on Hard Knocks episode 1 when he was doing the drag? So he was doing drag, like literally this. Like he actually was doing this.
Let's just get it.
But
and make it
he had his like 5-year-old daughter in the car with him. It was ridiculous. It was like the craziest thing I've seen in my whole entire life.
Here, like the other piece of it though is right. Like I drive a fast car at night when there's not that many cars on the road. I like to see what it can do. I do, So like I can't speak out of both sides of my mouth. Like I'm a young,
which is why I'm not on it. I'm not on
speeding
them.
tickets, Nick.
No, but that's the other piece. I do not, and
it's four of them over 100. One was other one was 99.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, I don't. That is the thing. Like he does take it to a new level.
There's probably no one on the road though.
Yeah, 2
like,
in the
that's
morning
why
in
I
Strongsville.
I can't get on him.
The
too bad,
mall's
'cause I've-
been closed
I've got a
for
speeding
6
ticket.
hours.
I have a speeding ticket before in my life, bro. Like this has happened, so I'm not gonna come with this holier than thou.
I'm not
like,
either.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
just saying. Trust me.
This is why I'm saying let's rent him a spot, bro. Maybe even let's buy out or build a racetrack or something.
Ty
bro.
Dillon.
Let's-
Can we get Ty?
let's
Can we
get
get
him-
our
let's get him
guys at
together,
Calling
bro.
Racing involved?
All right, we got to take a break. When we get back, we'll talk Jon Gruden. We have our FanDuel parlay of the day coming up, but we got to tell you about the Great Geauga County Fair. But that's on next segment when we get back right here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Nick Padone, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson. It is August. Nick, it means it is the month of the 2025 Great Geauga County Fair.
I cannot wait. We are 16 days away. It's like so close, but so far. That means you've got time to get your tickets. That's the good news for you, JeaugaFair.com. The bad news for me is I'm already jonesing for all of the fried food in the world that I'm going to eat at the Geauga County Fair. I've got my heart set on like the fried Oreo trucks.
Dude, fried Oreos are gas
at County Fair. So get your tickets now, JeaugaFair.com. Children 6 and under get in for completely free. It is going to be an absolute blast. There's going to be a ton of animals, live entertainment, tractor pulls, demolition derby, horse shows, livestock sale is going to happen there as well. So some of the animals that you see, like they're actually going to auction them bad boys off. Advanced ride tickets also available online at JeaugaFair.com. So for the kids, get their tickets handled now, so you guys aren't the people standing in line just waiting around trying to get into the fair. Thursday, August 28th through Monday, September 1st. It's Labor Day weekend. We'll see you out there.
What was that? Jordan Love tore a ligament, but I saw expected to be back by week
Minor
1.
surgery. They're expecting him to be back by week 1, Ian Rappaport. But now maybe they're looking for insurance at quarterback too. So maybe we could get rid of one of the 6'7" quarterbacks we got on this.
Stars are aligning. A Nevada Supreme Court has upheld a ruling that denied a motion to send Gruden's complaint into the league's arbitration process. Gruden sued the NFL and Roger Goodell back in 2021 after resigning as a Las Vegas coach due to racist, homophobic, and sexist emails that emerged from an investigation into the Washington franchise. I believe that was when all the things with Dan Snyder was going on and that horrible man. Unless the NFL appeals, Gruden's case can move forward in public instead of going to arbitration. The court has also denied the NFL's claim that Gruden could not sue the NFL off wording of the Raiders contract. Jack, you wrote here, next Browns coach.
Yeah, I think it's possible. It just kind of seems like a Browns
I do as well.
I mean, because he's going to be back in the NFL soon. He sent emails a long time ago that I would bet he would regret, and most people would regret if they sent out. And the weirdest thing too is that like he wasn't even a head coach. He was an ESPN commentator when all this was happening. Like all these emails that he sent that the NFL found during the Snyder investigations were while he was not even an NFL employee. So like that's like one of the oddest elements of the story in my opinion. But no, I do think like him going back into he got taken out of the Buccaneers Ring of Honor. He's going back in. Like I think he's going to be back in the NFL.
I've never read the emails. How bad were they? Because I really like Jon Gruden, and I feel like a lot of former players.
But they're also pre like. They're from forever.
Here's what I'll say. Here's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I hope I don't get. They are bad, but they are very standard for the time in which they were
Hulk
sent
Hogan
out by
bad?
people. Not Hulk Hogan bad at all.
Okay, he's redeemable. He's redeemable. So I mean,
there's some real bad stuff in there. Don't get me wrong.
Sure
but
he seems like a guy who by now is probably like taking accountability. He's worked like if there were racist things, he's worked with so many minority players. And the way I see him talk about certain players, like I'm not seeing that being the person he is now. So hopefully
it's hard. You're hard pressed to sound like Mel Kiper. You're hard pressed to find a guy that loves football more than Jon Gruden.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I hope not.
How many years of jail are you going to if the Xbox party chats got leaked?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm fine. I never had Xbox.
Okay, PlayStation.
The parties and the chats. I've set some files. That's gone like
Nick Saban or Jon Gruden for the next Browns head coach.
I would take Gruden.
I would take Gruden over Saban. I seriously would. I know that would come across as like maybe a hot take to some.
Really?
But because
Gruden.
Yeah, I would rather have Gruden.
He's worked in the NFL more recently. Yeah,
you think about it though, like people would freak a little bit just because like Gruden currently works for Barstool, like all of this other stuff that's going on legally, whereas Saban was kind of able to quote unquote like ride off into the sunset with Bama. He was able to really hide behind the shield of he hated NIL. Like he would take the jump to the National Football League if he had the chance to coach like a blue chip young quarterback. But I think just there's a 10-year age gap between the two of them. And I think the Browns are in the mark if things go south this year and if they're looking to replace Kevin Stefanski. We obviously can't get there right yet, but like, dude, I think Gruden would be kind of the next thing that you would want. Like, you've tried the numbers guy with Kevin. You've had 6 years on that.
Energy guy.
Dude, like Gruden loves football, and he loves Cleveland Browns
and
football.
he was a QB whisperer at one point back in the day. He was known for like having real good offenses, making some stuff shake.
If things go bad with Kevin, I mean, yeah, I'd rather have Gruden than Saban. I mean, it'd be way easier to pitch yourself if you're the Browns to Gruden than Saban. I think that's for sure, especially if you don't have a blue chip quarterback.
If you're gonna have a non-Hugh Jackson, I'm not calling Jon Gruden a bad coach, but if things went bad with Jon Gruden in Cleveland, right? Like, it's also not like a Hugh Jackson. Like, it's fun if you get a Jon Gruden or a Jeff Fisher, where if you win six games, like, you're gonna have so much fun because the coach is gonna have quote after quote every single week. He's gonna keep doing his
similar to Pete
fun
Carroll,
dances.
Jack.
Yeah.
If Pete Carroll sucks this year, the Raiders could just fire him and be like, "Hey, we tried Pete Carroll."
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Be mad?
We
Yeah,
also
like-
have a chance to finally get in on like those younger generational.
I would kill for
coordinators that we
Gruden's
never
not
get.
that old.
We should just bring
No,
back
but
the
that's
Rams
what I'm saying.
man.
But he wouldn't be
No,
the guy
I'm-
that's like, I gotta call my plays. I don't
Right.
think like so.
Right.
He's gonna
Be the
bring in a
CEO.
coordinator,
Yep.
and like we're gonna get to see like it could be a whole different strategy than what we have.
And when you're looking at like those hot shot coordinators next year, like all them guys kind of got jobs this past
who
cycle. Like
wouldn't
Ben
wanna work
Johnson's
for Jon
gone.
Gruden?
Like who
Right.
who would be the next? I'm sure there's a list that's out there right now of the hot shot OCs that are going to be favored to be head
Be like
coaches.
Kubiak, I would imagine.
Yeah, like but like dude, like I don't know. Similar to quarterback, I guess you could say, like with head coach, the Browns kind of have tried everything. And that's why I have been a bit of a Stefanski apologist at times, because I think there's something to be said for consistency. But the fact of the matter is, as much as they will try to preach process, because right now that's all they have to lean on because the results haven't been very good, we know that this is a results-oriented business. And if things continue to go south and to sour this season, you win 3 games. Hey, your process could be golden. We don't care about that no more.
Imagine Jon Gruden's reaction last year if he was our coach when Deshaun was in the huddle in Washington.
His face
When
would have been
Kadarius-
his face would have been
When
red.
Kadarius Toney was messing around, and
When he muffed
Stefanski
that
put it,
punt.
and Stefanski
You
put him
wanna-
out there. I was pissed that
You
haven't
want to
put it back out
talk
there.
about a guy that maybe we would finally stop having so many pre-snap penalties without any discipline whatsoever.
How do you feel about Miles speeding?
I don't know. He might be like, hey,
Probably been in
man.
the car with him.
Yeah, he might be onto that. I don't know.
All right, let's take our final break. When we get back, we got to do our parlay of the day presented by FanDuel. We'll be right back on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back into The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Nick Padone, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson, and I'm going to go ahead and just put my hand up and hold myself accountable. Our parlay of the day, our first one yesterday, we lost because the Boston Red Sox did not claim victory, and that's solely on me.
That's fine.
I don't want to
That's
let it happen
fine.
again. But I got to tell you guys
lot
how
of season
excited,
left.
how excited we are the fact that FanDuel is sponsoring with the Big Play Sport Network, joining this rocket ship. Nick, take it away.
I absolutely can't wait to put parlays in with you boys every day, but I'm also looking forward to next week because on Tuesday, August 26th, it is FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all of your football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race, crown your champion in August, or parlay your division winner dark horse. Mark your calendars now. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls on your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning out your future bets now. I've got a couple that I cannot wait to put through because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. I feel like that Tuesday on the Factor is going to be must listen. There is going to be some cash money thrown
is that when
around
we're gonna unveil all of
on
our
that
futures?
program, and we can unveil all of our future picks on August 26th for FanDuel Futures Day.
We have to as well do a long shot one though, because I'm considering I've made it clear.
The MVP bet, man.
Yeah, exactly. Second edition parlay of the day, Jack. What do we have?
Guys, we're back and better than yesterday. We're starting out, Nick, the Indiana Fever playing the Dallas Wings tonight. The Dallas Wings rocking a nice little 8-24 record on the season. You decided, hey, we're going to go Fever money line. And I thought, if we're sticking in the W, might as well rip an SGP with FanDuel, right? So I'm going to stick with you in that game. Paige Beckers has dropped 20 in 4 of her last 5 games. She's sitting at over 18.5 tonight. So that's what I'm putting in for us, guys. Ranger Suarez on the mound, shove day for the Phillies, throwing them in there. Rob, some are calling him, by some I mean me, the king of the unders after he hit the Nerf yesterday. So we're going under 10 in Rays and A's. A little bit of a rhyme there. So yeah, guys, once again, that is plus 723 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Indiana Fever money line, Paige Beckers over 18.5, Phil's money line, and the under in Rays and A's. I love it.
What would Matt Underwood say?
If it won. Well, we can't say it didn't win.
No, I'm not saying it's going to win. I'm saying
book it.
I'm saying we're booking it.
Or well, are you guys real quick before we end today? Are you guys fans of the Matt Underwood book it or the Tom Hamilton ball game?
We've had this debate.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, have?
We've
Never
had this
mind.
debate. I said
I like the ball game.
Ball game's better,
Sometimes Tom Hamilton, sometimes he says it, and like especially after the stressful wins, and he's like mad. you know, like ball game. You know, like,
Yeah.
that one is like book it is good, cool, I guess. Like they are both really good calls, but I do like when he gets mad after the stressful win and just
he had a parlay on it.
Yeah.
and it just feels like an exorcism. Like it's finally
Like
over.
you remember like the video of Luis Ortiz when he gets the strikeout on Volpe and he just clears day, goes fuck like Tom Hamilton has like A's, but no ball game.
All right, before we wrap this up, Arch wanted some za or something. I'm not hip to this. What happened?
THC as well, supposedly.
I have no issue with these Venmo receipts that are going around college football. Now I get that people want to look into the one because the kid gambling, whatever. The Arch Manning ones though, like where he said THC and za, whatever, like welcome to 2025. This is a kid that's 18 years. Like, dude, when we were in high school, especially the three of us that went to the same high school, there were kids that were drinking alcohol at a very young age where alcohol was not permitted.
Trapping Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
Dude, like THC, like weed, like if that's what gets Arch Manning through the day, that's what gets Arch Manning through the day. That's still my quarterback.
And do you-
even more
bro?
so
That's
now,
stressful
like,
life.
Do you know how many
Yeah,
times I
yeah.
put like an absolutely ridiculous tag on a Venmo I sent someone for just like helping
For no
my,
reason. Yeah, I do that all the time.
like, just for nothing. Like it's a nothing. It's funny because like everyone could just get all that off, but nothing should come of this at all for anyone involved.
All right, that's the show, everybody. Shout out Fairway Ford. Shout out Garage Beer. Shout out the 2025 Great Jogga County Fair. Shout out FanDuel. Jack, one more time. You have the parlay out.
Yes, I do. If you give me half a second.
Rip it
Thanks
for
to
us one
face
more time.
notification. Indiana Fever money line. Paige Beckers over 18.5. Phillies money line. Under 10. Rays and A's.
All right,
Plus
appreciate everybody-
723. Book it.
Appreciate everybody tuning in.